Bangladesh in turmoil, Awami League's protests against fascist government, and rising political tensions. On the second day of the third day of the conflict, a significant development occurred. Sheikh Hasina's Awami League party, through its official newspaper, published a statement calling for the removal of what they described as a fascist government. They declared that this government should no longer exist, and that the party would initiate struggles to achieve its removal. The Awami League announced a series of protests and demonstrations. Starting on February 1st, they called for nationwide protests demanding the resignation of the interim government. They urged party workers to protest in major areas across the country. On February 10th, the party planned a major demonstration involving prominent figures and public mobilization. By February 16th, they aimed to organize a complete blockade, particularly in major cities like Dhaka and Chittagong, to draw national attention. On February 18th, a complete shutdown was announced, with the entire country expected to come to a halt from morning to evening. The key reason behind these protests, according to the Awami League, was the series of fascist trials and baseless charges filed against their MPs, MLAs, and even their leader Sheikh Hasina as acts of political revenge. The people, facing immense distress, were seen as needing to rise against these injustices. A crucial claim made by the Awami League was that Sheikh Hasina had submitted her resignation to the president. However, the president reportedly stated he had not received any such resignation letter, creating a political ambiguity. Since August 5th, the Awami League had largely gone underground, with many members switching off their phones, fleeing to India, or living in fear for their lives. Their sudden resurgence with these protests indicated significant preparation and determination. The government in power was described as being aligned with external forces and collaborating with groups such as Jamaat-e-Islami and Razakars. Numerous atrocities were alleged, prompting calls for an end to such alliances and government practices. The Awami League emphasized the need to rally against these injustices and encourage public participation. The police force's role was highlighted as a critical factor, though concerns were raised about its potential allegiance to the government. There were reports of divisions within the army as well, with some factions leaning toward the Awami League or the government. Public discontent was evident, fueled by economic challenges such as rising costs in the garment industry and increased living expenses. Support for the UNIS was noted, but public anger was reportedly directed more towards Sheikh Hasina than in favor of UNIS. International support, including that of the United States, was also mentioned, though skepticism persisted regarding future interventions. The Bangladesh National Party, BNP leader, Khaleda Zia, had reportedly gone to the UK for medical treatment. Discussions about future elections and fair governance emerged, with hopes for political change through proper representation of the people. The administration, including the police and military forces, was described as being in chaos. Allegations of foreign influence and puppet governance were also made, with references to international funding and political maneuvers. Tensions at the West Bengal border were cited, with issues of land acquisition and border management becoming contentious. The government of West Bengal was reportedly taking steps to manage the situation efficiently. In conclusion, the unfolding political developments in Bangladesh were portrayed as complex and multifaceted, involving internal power struggles, public discontent, international interventions, and hopes for a more representative and stable government.